This is episode 513 on the 27th of April 2022. The Indian national T20 domestic competition has reached a stage where one knows who could be the four potential semi finalists. And looking at how the matches have gone so far, irrespective of the toss, because it's irrelevant because teams are blindly winning the toss and deciding to bowl first, though 9 out of 10 times that decision to bowl first has backfired because the team chasing has not been able to do so in the manner they should. So now in this Gujarat versus Hyderabad match, which is basically a clash of not only the top two but of the egos. If Gujarat win, they go to 14 points. If Hyderabad win, they tally with Gujarat at 12 points. And now Hyderabad, who had been chasing so far in the last 5 matches, would have to alter their plans in the sense that they would have to change their plans. Now they have to bat first. They have to get to a decent score. 160 would be good. Gujarat chased down 170 in the last match they played when they were 50 for 4, and that will give them a lot of confidence that they can chase out anything. This match, once again, a clash of egos, a clash of fast bowlers in Lockie Ferguson versus Umran Malik versus spinners as well, and how the two captains will shape up. The cerebral nature of the two captains will come into the picture for this particular match. It's being touted as a big match, and ironically, none of the teams that are included are Bombay or Chennai or Delhi or Calcutta. Who thought a year ago that a Gujarat Hyderabad match, though Hyderabad is a decent team having won twice before in 2009 and 2016, who thought that Gujarat versus Hyderabad match would be a match that everyone would be focused on, with the teams on 12 points and 10 points respectively. But looking at how this competition has gone so far, should there be a theme song for this particular competition? There could be a theme song, but I'm not aware of any theme song for this particular competition. But let's presume if there was a theme song, what would be the theme song for this particular competition? And I've chosen a very interesting song which will sum up the performances of a few teams and make other teams LOL. So it's carry on my wayward son, there'll be peace when you are done. Lay your weary head to rest, don't you cry no more. Once I rose above the noise and confusion, just to get a glimpse beyond this illusion. I was soaring even higher, but I flew too high. Though my eyes could see, I was still a blind man. Though my mind could think, I was still a madman. I heard the voices when I'm dreaming. I can hear them say, carry on my wayward son. There'll be peace when you are done. Lay your weary head to rest. Don't you cry no more. Masquerading as a man with a reason, my charade is the event of the season. And if I claim to be a wise man, but actually mean that I don't know, on a stormy sea of moving emotion, tossed about, I'm like a ship on the ocean. I set a course for winds of fortune, but I heard the voices say, carry on my wayward son. There'll be peace when you are done. Lay your weary head to rest. Don't be cry no more. No. Carry on, you will always remember. Carry on, nothing equals the splendor. Now your life's no longer empty. Surely heaven waits for you. Carry on, my wayward son. There'll be peace when you are done. Lay your weary head to rest. Don't be cry no more. So let's get cracking with the match as Shami bowls to Abhishek, who's been a revelation in this particular tournament. And for me, he comes in that Left arm spinners all-rounder category, he joins Jadeja, Kunal Pandya, Aksar Patel, and couple of other left arm spinners in this particular competition. So it's going to be how Hyderabad alters their plan. They have now to set a target. And for me, if they can get to 160 as Shami bowls on the pads, and that's gone for a boundary. So that's what happens in these matches. It's not as if such balls weren't being bowled before on the pads and five wides. That's unfair, but that's the way this rules are. It did not touch the bat. It beat the keeper. Well, a keeper who I don't think should be even part of this competition, but they had to accommodate certain players, so they went for Saha. So he's not the kind of guy I would have in my team. But as the first ball goes for 5 runs, as Shami steams into Abhishek Sharma, who on the pads went straight to the fielder and no runs. So 5 runs without any loss after 2 balls. So at a run rate of already 15 runs per over. So they have started well, and Washington Sundar has replaced, so they have a couple of good all-rounders. They have got a good spinning all-rounder in Washington Sundar, and right now nobody would take a Washington Sundar seriously. When an Ashwin came for the first time, everybody thought, can he do the job in the 5-day matches? Nobody thought that. Everyone thought he was your typical 20 over, 50 over, white ball product, being brought up on those white ball mentality, but he has over 450 wickets. So he's done the job. Who knows what will happen next? Washington Sundar, if he gets a chance, he can break all records. I think Muralidharan's record will be broken by a spinner. I don't know which spinner, but Nathan Lyon doesn't have age on his side. He's already 35. Ashwin also doesn't have age on his side. And unlike before, where there was no DRS and where every dubious decision was seen as a good decision, right now DRS may have prevented them from taking a lot of wickets. DRS may have stolen wickets because of the rules, because of impact outside off stump and all that. Otherwise, by now, Ashwin, if there was no DRS, someone like Ashwin would have had at least 600 wickets in that short period. But there is no use discussing that. Let's discuss this match as Hyderabad. So the first ball went for 5 runs. The next 3 balls have been good on around that off stump. On the patch, once again, the same delivery. Is that a leg by? It doesn't matter. It's 4 runs. It's a wide. So 10 runs in the first 4 balls, and it's our impatient. So yes, the bowler bowls down the leg side, struggling with the swing. But I don't think it's that bad a situation that we have to be critical of fast bowler. The only thing is the over will take around 5 minutes to get over because of the extra balls. And that's something umpires will have to look out for. As I said, umpires either they get some kind of at least some kind of responsibility of tackling situations when there are groups of individuals who are not on same terms. As a single is taken, I don't think we have to worry about 11 runs of the first over. We saw what happened yesterday when Kohli hit 2 boundaries and he was gone the next over. And then Bangalore was unable to chase 115. And let's forget which ground the match is being played on. At this point, it looks like the Wankhede probably, but it really doesn't matter. If somehow Hyderabad can get between 150, 165, if they can go there, I have my doubts that Gujarat can chase it. Gujarat themselves defended around 160 last time. Lucknow defended around 170 last time. We saw Punjab defending around 190 last time. And teams have not been able to chase as these teams in. Of course, Hyderabad bowled as the first ball. Huge appeal, but there may be an inside edge as the captain and the bowler will not confer, and it's all over as far as the DRS is concerned. Except for Bangalore being bowled out for 60, which was an anomaly, and then Bangalore not able to chase 150, which was also another anomaly. I think this decision to bowl first based on illusions like dew or masquerading situations like a weekend chase, knowing that teams have defended before, knowing Gujarat themselves know that they have defended 160. Hyderabad has been chasing 160, and once Hyderabad has been the chasing team, not the defending team. Gujarat has been the defending team, not the chasing team. So, but I don't think these things make a difference. These players have enough experience to not let such minor things affect their plans. So it will be Dayal to bowl the second over, not Hardik Pandya. So that's a change of plans. But 11 runs of the first over with over 10 runs coming in extras. How will that affect the team? Let's see. As Dayal steams in and he's going to bowl to Abhishek Sharma, left arm spinner, and straight to the fielder, straight to mid off, and no runs. So 7 balls, 11 runs, 0 wickets. So 12 runs after 8 balls, after it was a wide or something. So 12 runs in 8 balls, going at an average of 9 runs per over. So a decent start by Hyderabad, but they may lose quick wickets, and it will be all on the likes of Aiden Markram, Nicholas Puran, Rahul Tripathi, and Washington Sundar to do the job. Let's see what happens. So as Williamson to face his second ball as Dayal steams in, left arm spinner to the captain, who has been criticized for his low strike rate. They take too much time nowadays, which is not impressive in my worldview, but that's good. As Williamson gets ready, and this time he goes for the big heave-ho, almighty heave-ho, and swing and stand deliver and misses. He has a strike rate of 95, which I think is a decent strike rate, but where people have strike rates of 160, his strike rate would be seen as something unacceptable in the world where strike rates become such an important part of the narrative, an important part of the illusion, an important part of the masquerade. As the song itself said, once you rise above the illusion, you'll understand that there's nothing to be worried about. As Williamson bowls this time on the pads, a single taken and third man. In fact, it's gone for a boundary. It's a single. It looked like a boundary, but it's a single. And a team like Gujarat will say that they have Rahul Tavatia, Rashid Khan, Lockie Ferguson as their bowlers to bowl between over numbers 10 to number 20. And then, of course, Alzari Joseph, which means that they have got a relatively weaker batting lineup. As Dayal bowls to Abhishek, once again Abhishek cuts hard and it beats the fielder, and the first legitimate boundary of the match. It was slashed hard. Well, will these performances in this tournament affect how selectors look at a team for the World Cup or the tournament before the World Cup? Well, we have enough all-rounders. We have at least 8 all-rounders in fast bowling as well as in the spinning department. Are they looking at fast bowlers? Will we get too excited and rope in Umran Malik? I am not going to get excited about Umran Malik because when Umesh Yadav came for the first time 10 years ago, he excited us in the same manner. Once again on the pads, another one. So when Umesh Yadav came to the party around 10 years ago, 10, 12 years ago, he was bowling around between 145 and 150. So was Mohammad Shami. So was a certain Varun Aaron, who is no longer a regular either in the national team, domestic team, or this tournament. And they were all 22, 23-year-olds, and so is Umran Malik, 22 and a half year old, or maybe 23. I won't get excited about him because if he gets selected in the team and if he stays for a period of 10 to 12 years, his speed will come down. Will go from bowling at 155 to bowling at 140. That will happen. Everyone is excited because that's the way things are. This time, lifts it over the top, and another expensive over for Hyderabad as this ball goes to the boundary. 11 runs have been scored so far from this over. 11 balls, 22 runs, 2 runs per ball, 12 runs per over, and it's a good start by Hyderabad. No fear going after the bowling in the fielding restrictions, 6 over fielding restrictions, which means Hyderabad will have, Gujarat will have to alter their plans, maybe bring in one of their spinners early, Rashid Khan in the fourth or the fifth over. So I don't think how does that affect their plans. I have no idea, but that's the way. And this time it lets it go to 2 overs gone, 22 for 0. As I said, of course, everyone is excited about Umran Malik, a guy bowling at over 150, coming from a certain region in the country where not a lot of players come from. What is that region? I'll let you decide. But I am not going to be excited because Zahir Khan came 22 years ago. He excited everyone bowling at 150. Srinath came 30 years ago. He did the same thing. In between, so many bowlers came. Irfan Pathan was bowling at 140, an 18-year-old. And so many fast bowlers have come. Bumrah was getting everyone on their feet. Wow, bowling at 150, bowling with a very strange action, unique action. So let's not get carried away by Umran Malik. Good that he's bowling at over 150. No one is denying the fact. But let's be clear that he is not the first bowler to do that, and nor is this tournament surprising us with top teams who have been winning over the past 4 years alternatively. Going to get me sad that Bombay and Chennai are not performing up to the levels they are supposed to perform. They have to perform. Any mistake is seen as a blasphemy or something, as this ball has been pulled away by the bowler, and Hyderabad are looking good so far in the first 14 balls, going at over 11 runs per over. So the first 14 balls have gone according to the plan of Hyderabad, and well, the decision to bowl first so far has backfired. But as we know, things can change in a matter of minutes. A wicket can fall, something dramatic can happen. They can go from 26 for 0 to 30 for 2 in 5 overs. So that will not happen. So let's see how this entire thing pans out. Once again, straight to the fielder. So 15 balls, 26 runs with a couple of extras, with over 10 extras in this, 11 extras in this particular match. So an interesting proposition. Coming back to the subject of Umran Malik, not going to get excited. In fact, I'm just going to play the waiting game because I know how these things look. A couple of more years, he gains experience, he gets some cerebral in his thing, he will slow down. We were excited when Dale Steyn came, bowling at over 145. So was Rabada at the age of 19. As a ball is bowled up an inside edge, but no runs scored. So many fast bowlers have come and done that. The fast bowlers of the 70s. Everyone says that they were bowling fast. Well, there is no proof because the video footage available is limited. We only have word of mouth from their counterparts, and their counterparts will do anything to put them on a pedestal. So I won't get excited about the likes of Malcolm Marshall or Andy Roberts because there is no proof. And whatever proof is there, it doesn't look. I'm not going to accept that as a proof. As Shamli comes streaming in, once upon a time, Shamli was seen as the next best thing. He's bowling at 135 now. So why get excited about something which we all know what's going to happen? I wouldn't be too carried away by things at this point. So the fifth ball of the over is way to be bowled. 26 for 0 after 2.4 overs after 16 balls. As Shami steams in, now an average of 135. Once upon a time he was 145 bowler. Gone! As I said, anything is possible. I told you, let's not get carried away by Hyderabad scoring 26 runs in over 16 balls. The next ball, straight, full, the ball swings inside edge. He was saved by the inside edge. The last ball, but inside edge, and the captain is gone. The strike rate once again affects him, and the ball swung a long way, which means the Hyderabad bowler will also have some fun. So Gujarat have the first strike, and once again, Kieran Williamson doesn't get the strike rate moving, keeps the pressure on him and his team, which means Rahul Tripathi, Aiden Makram, Nicholas Puran, all-rounders, and Washington Sundar and others will have to do the job, which will be very interesting as to how they play this entire thing out. But that's the way things are in this tournament. So let's not get too carried away as far as the fast bowlers are concerned. Don't be surprised if they immediately draft this Umran Malik into the team, even as a net bowler. So I don't know what does that mean, but they might do that. So I think net practice is something I don't think is a useful thing. It's like saying that I practiced 100 questions before I go and do the exam. It really doesn't matter. I may practice 100 questions, I may practice 100 times, but in the real time scenario, whatever I may practice may not come into fruition. I don't see the point of net practice when you just had a match 24 hours ago. Means you're already in the momentum. So why go through this parade, illusion, masquerade of net practice for any kind of practice? If you have an exam of same subjects of different things in the space of 2 days, why do you want to go to the net practice and get yourself injured knowing that they're not wearing the full gear as far as the net practice time is concerned? It's a waste, it's an illusion. I'm not impressed by it. Rahul Tripathi defends, 3 gone, 1 for 26. The game is now at a 50-50 situation. Which means expect Shamil to get a third over. Expect someone like Rashid Khan to get early into the match. So I don't think matchups make a difference. Whether a leg spinner bowls to a left-hander or an off spinner bowls to a right-hander, whether an off spinner, as I heard the commentators say, he's a carom ball off spinner or a googly off spinner. Who cares? No bowler can decide the speed he bowls at. He bowls at a certain speed because that's what he wants to do. But what the speed gun clocks is immaterial. And that's why speed guns can often be misleading. You could be bowling at 120, the speed gun could be registering the bowler at 150. The speed gun is an illusion. It's always been an illusion, so it never gets me pumped up. It's an illusion in the real world. As a single is taken, 3.1 overs, 1 for 27. So the speed gun, when we get excited about these things, it's an illusion at the real part. It's an illusion when you play a video game. It's an illusion at every level. It was an illusion when we got carried away by the West Indies fast bowlers 50 years ago, because who said the West Indies bowlers are fast? Their counterparts. They weren't wearing helmets. If a batter doesn't wear a helmet today, 100 kilometer per hour ball will look like 200, because when the ball comes from the batter, it's always fast. Whether it's 150 or 50 or 100 or 115 or whatever be the average ball. When you're not wearing a helmet, everything seems like a blur and everything seems like as if, am I going to be alive the next moment? I'm not going to even listen to what those batters had to say all those years ago about the fast bowlers of a certain region of a certain country, because it's an illusion. I didn't face them, so I don't have the proof. If I had faced them, who knows, I would have said maybe they were fast. But that's something for another day. As we get ready, as Yash Dayal continues to bowl his second over of the match, 1 for 27 after 3.2 overs, as we get ready for the final 10 balls of this particular match. As Tripathi is on strike, this time he goes over the top and the catch has been, well, it was a difficult chance. I would not call it a drop. And saying that it's a drop catch is the harshest thing to say. It's not a drop, it's a great effort. If it sticks, clap. If it doesn't stick, all right. Let's not make these individuals. I think it is a great effort. I will not see it as a drop. The broadcasters may put it in the drop section. No, not for me. I would never allow that. If I was in charge of the broadcast, I would say nothing. I would not agree with the commentators. It's not a drop, it happens. Just because the coaches and the captain react, because at this time the ball is pulled away and it falls short of the fielder. So Hyderabad in a bit of tangle, a pull shot which falls short of the fielder, a cut shot which should have been taken, but doesn't mean that it has to be taken always. So, not a drop catch. I do not believe in this drop catch theory, and I will never go with it. So, the final two balls of this particular match, I said the final eight balls, but now it's been revised to the final two balls as edge and then gone to the third man. So the Hyderabad batters have a scrambled mind and they thought they'll be chasing 160. Now they have to score 160. So it's a different mind game for them. I don't think how that makes a difference. Bowl first, bat first, irrelevant things. But for these batters, everything makes a huge difference. So the final ball of tonight's program, and so far I think it's a 50-50 situation. Hyderabad has done well to get to around 30 in 4 overs, and Gujarat has done well to get the wicket. This time he's pulled it away, but once again, one bounce to the fielder, and that ends tonight's program. So this ends episode number 513 on the 27th of April 2022. Stay tuned for the next episode on the 29th of April 2022 at our regular morning time with episode number 514.